And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spider-Schmoes Show. Tonight on the Spider-Schmoes Show, fucking Spider-Man once again. This is a fucking Spider-Man podcast at this point. I'm kind of amazed. But this time it's the Spider-Man that we all agree is unanimously good. On top of the Spider-Man that's coming out in like 2 weeks. I'm Neef Mr. Ryan and I'm a Schmo.
I'm Cairo. I'm also Schmo.
And this is the Two Spider-Man Show, baby. Wachoo! Episode 69.
Nice.
Nice. Ooh.
I'll say though,
Yo.
not everyone thinks it's the best Spider-Man.
What? The Spider-Verse movies?
Yeah.
Well, that's a little thing called racist.
Have you seen the oh god, I gotta see if I can find it. There was a tweet that somebody put out who I think the implication was that they were seeing a pre-screening or something. There was some person on Twitter who fucking knows. But they had their listing of all of the Spider-Man movies in their opinion, and they had No Way Home as number one, even though allegedly at that point they hadn't seen it. And then number two was still not Spider-Verse, and all of the comments were just a shit show of people disagreeing on which is the best Spider-Man.
Okay, definitively, let's make it right here, right? I argue there's the best Spider-Man movie, which of course we all know is Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Now, number 2, we all know is Spider-Man 2. And number 3 is Homecoming. That is the
Wait, which Spider-Man 2? The Raimi?
Raimi.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And that is the definitive top 3. You can put the rest anywhere else, except you have to put Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the bottom because that's where it fucking belongs. Any other ordering, you can do it however you want, but that's the definitive top 3. And if you don't fucking agree with that, you don't know what fucking movies are about.
I gotta look this up because there are people who are like unironically putting the Amazing Spider-Mans in 1 and 2.
Okay. So
Right?
I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I will say, and within recent time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about within the last month, I found a new appreciation for them. Only because I learned the story of like everybody who worked on them and how they're actually passionate. And I thought I truly believe, had Sony not interfered with these movies so much, we could have had something better than the Raimi trilogy. I truly believe that.
Oh yeah, for sure. We absolutely could have.
Yeah. I think the Amazing Spider-Man movies had very talented people. They had fucking Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, they had so much potential. And Sony just shit the bed. So that being said, because Sony is an absolute monster who ruined my artsy Spider-Man movies, I have no faith that those are in the top 2. And I will stand by that. Oh no!
Find this.
How do you rank the Spider-Man movies, Kyril?
So I definitely put Spider-Verse as the top one. I don't think that you can objectively put, like, looking at it objectively, not in order of any personal appearance, objectively, I definitely think Spider-Verse has to be number 1. It went above and beyond what any of the other ones are, which is just superhero movies. And that alone makes it more impactful socially, and on its own right, it holds up better because of that.
Yeah.
It has something more to offer than just a superhero story.
Mm-hmm.
For I'm just going to do like 2 through 4. I think it's Raimi number 1 and 2 and Homecoming. I don't know exactly how I would rank them within there, but I think those are definitely the 2 through 4s.
Okay.
And then 5 is Raimi Spider-Man 3. Then I would probably do Far From Home.
Okay.
And then Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 in the last 2 spots. I don't know how I would rank them because I haven't seen them in a long time. They're definitely at the bottom.
Yeah. And I'm not saying this to be rude, but I don't argue with that list whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they're better than some superhero movies.
Oh, yeah.
As much
Absolutely.
shit that they get, I do think we need to give the devil his due and say,
Yep.
they're perfectly suitable at times. like if we're really gonna like start picking holes at like the worst superhero movie of all time, I'm
Hmm.
gonna say without a doubt, I believe it's Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Yeah. Or one of the what was it, Fan Four Stick.
Oh shit, Fan Four Stick exists. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
They're both pretty equally up there though with that mix of bad writing and awkward even for its time CGI.
Yeah. So, my personal list, if I may, Spider Verse, Raimi
Yep.
2,
Hmm.
Homecoming.
Hmm.
I'd probably put the first Raimi movie under Homecoming.
Yep.
Um, you see, I this is hard for me because
Hmm.
like
The middle parts get hard.
the middle part is hard.
Yep.
Um, because what this is really is a debate between Spider-Man 3 and Far From Home.
Yep.
Because I love Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. I love that we have
Oh yeah.
Mysterio in
Absolutely.
a movie. That being said, one doesn't simply watch Raimi 3 without
Hmm.
like embracing the stupidity of it.
It's very dumb.
So I have to ask myself a lot of the time. Sorry, I'm still recovering from COVID, if you can't tell. Um,
Yep.
which do I enjoy more? A good Jake Gyllenhaal performance or the absolute fucking memeage in Spider-Man 3? And the simple answer is I can't decide sometimes. It depends on
Yeah.
the day. Um I guess if we're going to be a little objective and on our subjective opinions, I will go with Far From Home, then
Hmm.
Spider-Man 3 because I think the emotional through line of Far From Home resonates with me a little bit more.
Hmm.
And then we get Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Yep. The big thing for me in Far From Home was that I just couldn't stand how gullible Peter was after everything he had been through at that point.
Yeah. He
It just
literally
seemed
fought.
like it was an unrealistic amount of him being an ignorant child still. And that just seemed off for me. And like a lot of it could have been avoided if he just grew up the way that we had already seen him do in the past movies.
That is the most frustrating thing about Far From Home for me. I will
But
agree
Jake
with you.
Gyllenhaal is very good in it.
He's the. I think I'm about to say something I'm going to regret, but I think
Not
it
better
needs
than
to be.
Vulture. I don't want to hear
I think
it.
I I top three Spider-Man villains on the big screen.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man villains. See, that's hard. Spider-Man has good villains, you know?
Yes. Okay. Have you
That's really hard.
the only objectively bad Spider-Man villain from the movies?
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx Electro, and I'm so glad he's getting his due diligence with a
Yes.
comeback.
I hope he gets full retribution.
He deserves it
He
because
deserves it. He really does.
you can't waste Jamie Foxx like that.
Jamie Foxx should never have been put in the Blue Man Group.
uh so yes. Man. Okay, actually no. There's another villain that kind of should go up there with Jamie Foxx Electro. Topher Grace Venom, also a bad villain. I like Venom. I really like
Mm.
Venom as a character. Topher Grace
Yep.
Venom, not a good villain.
I'll be honest, I kind of forgot about him.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't like you forget he exists because
Yeah.
yeah. So
Topher Grace is his actor name.
yeah.
That's good. I
That's
didn't realize that.
that's Eric Foreman from that 70s show.
Yeah. But his first name is Christopher.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
But his actor name is just Topher.
Topher.
I love seeing like just dumb stuff like that. Where it's just like, that's really what you did? Really? You can make your name anything in the world, and you went with Topher.
Why not?
I guess why not, right?
Topher Maguire.
But I don't get the number of people in this Twitter thread that are just like, MCU Spider-Man doesn't exist to me.
What the
Like, what?
fuck?
Why?
Okay,
Why?
yeah. It wasn't popular to start hating on Tom Holland Spider-Man until Far From Home came out,
I
and
get
some
it.
people had some problems with it.
Like, if you have problems with the writing, sure,
Yeah.
fine. But like, that's not entirely Tom Holland's fault
No, it's
that
not.
it's written kind of dumb, or it has some dumb scenes that he kind of has no choice but to be in because he is the main character.
Yeah. I will say, I don't know, man. I don't think Tom Holland exactly needs someone defending him when he's like sitting on his lavish millions of Spider-Man money. But Tom Holland did nothing wrong. In
Yep.
fact, I will say, objectively, out of all the Spider-Man actors, I'm gonna say something terrible, and we're gonna get mugged on the streets for this, right? You all know what I'm about to say now because I prefaced that. I love him. I really do. I love his work. He's great. But Tobey Maguire might be the worst Spider-Man in terms of pure acting.
Mhm.
I love
Someone
Tobey.
put it. Someone put it really good in here, where somebody was just like Andrew Garfield is the best Spidey, and he's talking about someone's like best Spidey, sure, best Peter Parker, no way.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an important distinction, is finding someone who can do both.
Oh
And
yeah.
so far, Tom Holland has managed to do both above average.
Yeah.
He's a believable Peter Parker, and also as Spider-Man, it makes complete sense what's happening and why he's acting the way he does.
Yep. I agree. Again, if you have a problem with MCU, Spider-Man, by far go on it, man. Because I will admit, the fucking what was it? The Russian spy scene in Far From Home with the Peter taking off his pants and then launching the drones at that one kid that was like really unlikable.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't blame you for not liking that scene. In fact, that almost ruined the movie for me.
Yeah, I'll say, for the as much as I hate everything and anything about the upcoming Uncharted movie, it's going to be Tom Holland's chance to prove that he's not just a one-note actor.
Oh, very true. I mean, I don't want to see
Like,
him get typecast as Spider-Man for the rest of his life.
yep. I don't want to see him get typecast as Tom Holland for the rest of his life in the same way that, or just show that he only has that one thing that he can do in the way that like Chris Pratt is. Like, you put Chris Pratt in anything, but the only reason it only ever works in Star-Lord because Star-Lord just happens to be synonymous with Chris Pratt at this point.
Yeah.
And anything else, it just comes off as, oh yeah, Chris Pratt's being Chris Pratt again. Great.
Did you hear Chris Pratt is going to be the Grinch?
Who isn't Chris Pratt at this point?
I have something to tell you, Kyril.
Yes.
I'm Chris Pratt.
Oh no. It was inevitable.
God. I hear we're going to get Chris Pratt cut of Infinity War where Chris Pratt is Thanos.
Everything is Chris Pratt.
Yo, I would watch a Chris Pratt cut of Infinity War.
I wouldn't.
It would be
Like,
so awful.
not even ironically. It would be so bad.
It would be amazing. What are you talking about?
Oh man.
Imagine Chris Pratt kissing Chris Pratt.
Did you see that thing about who was it? Neil deGrasse Tyson
No.
kissing? Apparently, Neil deGrasse Tyson has tweeted out multiple times over the last decade some variation on the only way you can kiss yourself in the mirror is on the lips. I don't know
Neil, are
why.
you okay?
I don't know why Neil's doing it, but it's happened like 5 times over the last 10 years. And I don't get it.
I'm really worried
It's
about
a
him.
it's a bit worrisome, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think like Neil deGrasse Tyson does like the Silence of the Lambs type deal where he like looks in the mirror,
That's
flies
why he
lips-
became a physicist. He's trying to figure out a way to do it.
Oh God! Looks at himself in the mirror, is like, theoretically speaking, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me if a doppelganger of myself was theoretically possible. I'd theoretically fuck me hard. We were talking about Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah, Spider Verse. One. I mean, interesting thing about it though is that it is a part one.
Yes, I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm. I'm not. How much did it make?
Not enough. How much did the original Spider-Verse make?
I deafened myself there. Oops.
37
Yeah.
$375 million.
Against a budget of 90 million. Yeah. That is like bought and paid for both of its sequels, no question.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm looking at the other Spider-Man movies box offices underneath it, and it's not even fair. They're still eclipsing it. What was
Oh,
that?
the other ones did better, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
How much do you think Far From Home made?
Oh God. Does it hit a billion? I don't think it hit a billion.
Yes. It hit
It
a billion.
did?
Yes.
Holy shit. It did not deserve to.
You gotta remember though, it's technically like the epilogue to Endgame.
Holy shit. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking at them now. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So Spider-Verse is the lowest.
It's the lowest, but it's also
Wow.
the best.
Yeah. Like no question it's the best.
Yeah. Even Amazing Spider-Man 2 doubled that.
Mm-hmm.
God, the animation discrimination is real.
Honestly surprised that they didn't make an Amazing Spider-Man 3 with those kinds of incomes.
Yeah, dude. Have you
Like
ever heard?
it wasn't making more money, but it wasn't losing money, that's for sure.
I don't know. I feel like they would have soullessly did it. I don't know what happened.
Like that's what Sony does, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If they're making money, they don't give a shit.
Yeah. Unless, of course, it's Spider Verse and they're trying to get their animation studio some more prestige.
I would imagine, honestly, it was probably around that time where Marvel came in and was like, "Hey, we want Spider-Man in the MCU. Work with us. What do you want? We will make it happen. We want it. We know you want it to be better, even if it doesn't make you as much money, because it's basically free for you to do it." And they must have cut some deal with Sony to just be like, "Yeah, just do it."
Well, okay. So, The Amazing Spider Man, the first one, came out in 2012 around the time of Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, have you ever heard the original draft of the licensing deal with Spider Man and the Avengers?
Nope.
So, they were. This is going to show how much of a fucking nerd I am. I know this. The original idea was that there was going to be an Andrew Garfield crossover with the Avengers. I don't remember what it was. I remember it was mainly Captain America focused, which is
Yep.
interesting considering what they actually did.
Yeah, it's ironic, isn't it?
It really is. So let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna actually look this up before I start spouting out of my ass.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember. Yeah, okay. To incorporate Spider-Man 3 into the MCU. So I'm going off an article here. Sorry, reading as well. Article is not
Mm-hmm. Yep.
fully going on. Okay, a few days after lunch, Kevin Feige scrambled together an impromptu mini creative retreat where the core creative producers, if they were ever even the slightest chance of getting Peter Parker to be part of the MCU, Feige wanted the bones of a battle plan already figured out.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense.
They wanted a 5-picture deal, which is a lot.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's a lot. Although I guess technically, if you look at the number of Spider-Man like movies that there are, they're pretty close to that already.
Yeah. I mean, with like the cameos and all that.
Yeah, because you have the 3 Spider-Man movies, both Avengers, Infinity Wars, Civil War. and then also other little side bits. So that's 6 like mainline movies with Spider-Man in it.
Yeah. So this isn't giving me the details I was going to mention. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Um,
Hmm?
Spider-Man was supposed to make some. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was supposed to make some kind of crossover with the Avengers, and that was going to be it until they did a Sinister Six movie, in which case Chris Evans Captain America was supposed to cameo in that as like a helper,
Mm.
which is really weird.
And then I guess that just never happened.
Yeah. And then they're like, nah, Andrew, we're going with a different Brit, the younger model.
Yeah. Yeah. V2.
To be fair, have you ever heard the original plot for Amazing Spider-Man 3?
No, I'm sure. One thing that I was just noticing here, though, is that if you look at their budgets versus their incomes,
Mm-hmm.
the with the exception of Spider-Man 3, which I'm sure was just hyped up to hell, both Spider-Man to Spider-Man 2 and Amazing Spider-Man to Amazing Spider-Man 2 had their budgets decrease and they had their earnings decrease.
Ouch.
I mean, I think that goes to show, like, especially if you look at Homecoming and Far From Home, like, you cut the budgets, you get a lower quality movie, people watch it less. You increase the budget, you get a at least as good of a movie, and people watch it more
Mm-hmm.
because you're able to keep the hype moving.
That sounds about right.
Checks out.
So, yeah. I forgot what I was about to say. Something about Andrew. Oh, yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 3. I forgot about this. This is going to be so stupid. Okay. So, a lot of people died in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, right?
Yeah.
What if we brought them back?
Reverse Thanos.
Yeah, pretty much. It was going to be, there was like a goo that Andrew Garfield was going to put on like Captain Stacy and Gwen Stacy to bring them back to life. And it was going to be bringing them back to life. And that's all we know about it. Sinister Six setup somewhere.
That seems really bad.
Doesn't it?
Like, I'm sure you could do something with it. No, that's basically Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, God, you're right. Okay, let me see what's going on here. I'm reading the wiki of it, see if there's more details we know about this.
There's pretty good reason people tend not to do the reincarnation kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it usually, unless you do it really good, you're doing it really bad. There's not really a middle ground for it.
It was said to focus on Spider-Man against the villainous team, the Sinister Six, who were going to get a movie beforehand in like 2016 or something that set them up for Spider-Man 3 while being bonded to an alien symbiote. Meanwhile, meeting new friends Mary Jane and Eddie Brock, dealing with grief from Gwen Stacy's death.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let's see. What else?
Like, there's a world that could work. It's just not the world that we live in.
Yeah. Okay, the film would have been the last of the series, directed by Mark Webb. It would have remained as a producer and creative consultant for any subsequent films following. The Sinister Six would have appeared as the villains of the film, and allegedly Norman Osborn would have returned as the primary antagonist, the King Goblin. It is unknown what relationship the third film would have to the canceled Sinister Six movie. As both were featuring a villainous team, it would be later classified as ASMN 3 and should have seen release, with the Sinister Six as a sequel, or the story being Spidey versus the Six, being a 2-movie arc.
Mm-hmm.
Finn Wittrock was in talks to portray Eddie Brock, and J.K. Simmons was considered to return as J. Jonah Jameson. He's so perfect. Oh my god. And Felicity Jones was to reprise her role as Felicia Hardy, who would have been Black Cat in the movie.
It goes to show that across 3 franchises, there's only one choice.
J.K. Simmons is perfect.
Yep.
I'm not even saying that as an employee of Farmers Insurance. I'm just saying that as my own damn person.
Unbiased.
Unbiased. Honestly, you should see the farmers group chats we have. I just throw in J.K. Simmons memes over and over and over again. I will not be silenced. It was stated the Spider Slayers were planned for future installments and would have been set up in the film. Venom was considered to be a villain for the film, although unknown in what capacity, to be the symbiote alone or being bonded to Eddie Brock. Mark Webb clarified that, unlike Raimi, he definitely had plans to include the black suit in the movie. Given the deals with the height of Peter's guilt, it only makes the symbiote show up. Oh, man, this is poorly written. I'm going to cut this part.
Yeah.
It was implied Gustav Fiers, a shady figure throughout the films, would be dead by this film or joining the Sinister Six. Alan Tudyk was in talks to cameo.
Yeah,
Tudyk
yeah.
was cameo as Cletus Cassidy,
Oh,
aka
like as an
Carnage.
actor? Mm.
Originally, in an interview with the actor who played Gwen Stacy's dad, he claimed the dad would return, but with superpowers, and several other allies of Spider-Man would have the same return as well. What the fuck was this movie?
Alan Tudyk is a really good actor. I would like to see him enter the MCU at some point, but doing a similar thing to what he was in Rogue One and iRobot, where he plays not himself, but he does it as like a voice actor kind of thing.
I'm going to
Because
see.
he does that really well.
Let's see, Alan Tudyk. Oh, he was Sassbot.
Hmm.
Okay, I like him.
Yep. Yeah, he does a really good job. And even in his own roles, he also does well. But I'm of the opinion that he did better in the roles where he was voice acting rather than acting.
I'm trying to think of a good character for him.
Apparently, he was in Moana and Raya and the Last Dragon. Didn't know that.
So I've got Sony's Spider-Man Universe Wikipedia page pulled up, and it is such a clusterfuck.
No, I bet.
Just like seeing all of this stuff that they're trying to keep track of, and it's very clear that they're still trying to stick the landing. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Craven the Hunter movie's coming.
Yep.
Yep, I'm excited for that. I love Craven the Hunter, and if it's still got Tom Holland in it, and we do like Craven's Last Hunt, that'd be a good movie. Films in development for Sony's for Sony's Spider-Man universe. Ready for this?
Go for it.
The Sinister Six. They're still trying to make this happen.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I guess I get it. They want their ensemble stuff. I just want them to do the the Guardians of the Galaxy bad guys one. What are they called?
Oh, the what?
I can't remember what it is.
I know what you're talking about. Like the other.
You know what I mean, though, because they really alluded to it at the end of Guardians 2, where they had all of Yondu's like other guys.
Yeah.
His.
I know Marvel is setting up a Thunderbolts movie right now, which is basically the Sinister Six, but of just non like Spider-Man villains. And I would be impressed to see who gets to their villain ensemble movie first, Sony or Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting a Nightwatch movie, which I do not know who Nightwatch is. We are really scraping the barrel for comic book characters.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm seeing with this is that. So I don't remember if I mentioned it, but in the show, I saw Shang-Chi over the weekend.
Yep.
Really enjoyed it. It's really good. I can appreciate a lot of what they did in it that makes it different from the typical Marvel movie that does definitely help it shine. But I think they really need No Way Home to be like a big success or they're going to be in a bad spot. Going from Black Widow to Shang-Chi to Eternals and having movies that are meh to good but not great or good but not widely popular to kind of bad. If they have another one that's just kind of average, they're going to be in trouble, I think.
Yeah. What I think is not helping Marvel right now is those fucking TV shows. While they are fun and pretty good, they are also something you're putting your brand over. And we are at really strong points of saturation right now. And we need something to hook us.
Yep, totally agree.
Yep.
When you have... It changes Marvel from being like a once a year thing or a once or twice a year thing to an all the time thing.
Yeah,
that changes expectation.
it really does change expectations. Like, I kind of miss the days when it was like, oh, one Marvel movie a year. That's pretty
Right.
cool. Yeah.
And it was like the big go see it superhero thing.
Yeah, it was the summer blockbuster.
Yeah. But having, God, we've already had 3 this year. There's going to be a 4th in 6 months.
Yeah.
Plus the TV shows on top of that. It gets to be a bit much.
I wouldn't mind them having the TV shows if there was just one big movie a year.
Yeah. Or
Let
if the TV shows had the same polish as the movies did. Like, that was the thing for me that made Loki stand out so much, is that it felt like watching a Marvel movie. When I'm watching Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it doesn't feel like I'm watching a movie. It makes me feel like I'm watching a TV show that's like clearly not a Marvel movie. And it just takes you right out of it. It's like, this isn't Marvel. This is just Marvel adjacent. And it kind of sucks because of it.
That's kind of why I liked WandaVision, because it reveled in being a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it was also able to roll with a lower budget in certain parts.
Yes, you
Like,
cannot do the same expectations of action on a
yeah,
TV show budget.
like having the first couple of episodes have those older TV styles also lets you be really cheap with that.
Yeah.
Like when you're working within the constraints of like conceptually what would have been a 1 or a 2 camera setup originally, and you're filming within those same constraints, you're saving a shitload of money compared to having 10 cameras rolling at once all the damn time.
Yeah. I agree. So,
And then Loki, I think they just knew that they had something really good and just kind of went for it.
Loki's just a fun concept for a show.
Yeah, but in the same time though, they were also able to save a shitload of money by just not having that many characters, you know?
Oh no, it's got a very
good chunk of
intimate
the
cast.
show is just Loki and Loki.
Yep. Actually, that's something I do want to point out here, right?
Yep.
I saw the first episode of Hawkeye, last night.
Yes, I need to see that get caught up.
So here's the thing. They're definitely trying something new with this Hawkeye show.
Mm-hmm.
So the average Marvel show has been like 45 minutes, half an hour type deal, right?
Yep.
Hour-long episodes for Hawkeye.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it as serious as the other Marvel shows have been? Because the advertising for it had a lot more levity to it.
I would say it feels like a Marvel property.
Okay.
Um,
So there's silliness, but within a serious tone.
yeah, it's weird because like
Okay.
it's hard to base it off one episode.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Um,
I just need to see it.
yeah. How do I put this? I do want to bring up one point you brought up. So you said you can't do Marvel action with a TV, but well, we said that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a quality
it is
difference.
at the very least a lot harder.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah.
they have a flashback in
Okay.
Hawkeye, which is straight up the Ronin scene from Endgame. Same footage and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, it is so obvious to tell the budget difference between this 30-second clip of Endgame, the highest grossing film of
Yeah.
all time, and a TV show.
Yeah.
The colors are different, the cameras are higher quality. It's like just a giant jump, and it's like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Can you imagine if we got an actual Ronin show?
Oh, I'd be up for it, dude.
Like just straight up mature R-rated 45 minutes an episode, starting off with Hawkeye just snapping, like finally snapping.
Dude.
And then every episode after that is just him going in with these really well shot, really tightly choreographed fight scenes, fucking up these criminal organizations all across the world.
Daredevil.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
Daredevil. That's literally Daredevil.
Yeah, I guess so.
Daredevil was rated TVMA.
No.
Where's the?
It's still only on Netflix.
It's still only on Netflix.
They just put it on Disney Plus.
I am surprised they don't license it out to Disney Plus because like I hear they're rebooting it, which is fine, but it's like
I'm surprised Disney isn't the one licensing it to Netflix at this point.
well, they were made on contract that would be Netflix
I know.
originals because Disney didn't have plans for streaming at the time. So they thought, why not just go with the biggest company, because the biggest company is going to give us the most money. And then they're like, why are we paying for this shit? Oh my god. Okay, where is it? Here it is. Okay. Let me make sure this is the right clip. Yep, this is the right clip. I'm gonna change your life. There's the clip. Get ready. This is like the scene that made the show. For those of you who don't know, this is the Daredevil hallway fight scene. And the whole time he described Ronin, I've just thought this scene. What?
I mean, you're not wrong. That is definitely Daredevil. I just didn't mean it to be.
Also, tell me while you watch this if you don't get flashbacks to the Spike Cowboy Bebop long track. Everybody at home who has Netflix, go watch Daredevil. This show is amazing. I mean, season 2 can be a little hit or miss, but I really think it's a quality program if you like superhero TV shows. It's very violent, though, so keep the kids at home. Like, this is straight up just for adults. I wouldn't have kids watch this show.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Why? Are you at the point where he's like, where people are getting bloody?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, this is very real violence, and kids could easily imitate this. I forget how violent this show is.
I will say it is very good,
Yeah.
but to me, it still does look like a TV show.
Yeah, that's like a big point. I will give you that.
Yeah.
It's
It
very
is
much
very well shot, though. I would love to know how they did the camera work here with
the walls.
these long shots.
Yeah.
No, with the camera going over and around the door in the middle of the scene.
Oh, good point.
I'd be curious to know how they manage that. Because I'm sure that there's just some cuts that it's managing to hide really well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be curious to see what they are.
Yeah,
Because it's very well done. It doesn't look like it's a handheld cam. It looks like it's on a dolly because it's very steady.
yeah, I think it's definitely on a dolly. What I'm having trouble with is like, how are they getting the dolly moving around like that in a very cramped
Right.
hallway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would bet, if I had to guess, they probably have it dollied above the scene.
Mm,
And then they're CGIing in the ceiling.
that could work. I do like your theory about the cuts, though.
Yeah.
I could see it definitely.
But it's very good. There's only like one bit though that well, I guess two, because you can, before the door gets knocked in, you can pretty easily put a cut there when it's just the empty hall.
Yeah.
But after that, there's only really one good spot that you can cut it where the whole scene gets obscured. You could wipe in.
Yep.
But it's very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Like that, but with like a little like 5 years more polish. Yeah, for sure.
Well, what year did
I'll
that
also
come
say
out?
though, big thing that's a big appeal for me with Ronin is the fact that he has the sword.
Okay, I'll give you
It's
that.
stylistic and it works.
So, to give you a very minimum spoilers, the sword is apparently a plot point in Hawkeye.
Okay. I'd be okay with that. Like,
Yeah.
have Hawkeye just with the sword still, and then the new person gets the bow or something like that. That'd be fun. Because he looked pretty badass with the sword.
The sword
And it's a
itself
very
is badass.
distinctive sword.
Yes.
It's very distinctive how it's crafted, sculpted.
Yeah, I will agree to that. That being said, I give like the first episode of Hawkeye like a solid 8 out of 10.
That's good then. That is actually pretty good for first episode.
Yeah. Like the thing I would give it is in the episode it's more focused on Kate, the new Hawkeye.
Makes sense.
Yeah. There's also one thing they kind of play a little differently, which I'm surprised they kind of were just expositing this.
Yeah.
So, like, you know the explosions in Endgame?
Yes.
Okay, apparently those made Clinton deaf, and that's a very big thing they want to point out.
Huh. Like actually fully deaf,
Like in his
or just really badly?
in his right ear, he's deaf.
Huh.
Yeah, like they make jokes about him turning his hearing aid off.
Huh. I mean,
Yeah,
that's good. I like showing the infallibility of them, that they are, a lot of these people aren't gods, that they are still people.
yeah.
That's a really good way of doing it.
Okay. Did we get our contractual hour of Marvel talk in yet?
I believe we have.
Fuck yeah, Disney, pay us up.
Give me all your money.
Give me your fucking money, Disney. I've just advertised your movies for 40 minutes. My kids and wife are starving. I've given you enough of my money. Rebate me already. What else do we have in the news?
Okay. Tragically, I don't want to get too much into it. There was a school shooting last week in Oxford, Michigan.
Yeah, that's pretty close to
Incredibly
us.
tragic. I wanted to talk about the stupid fucking parents.
What is there to say? They are the dumbest
Oh my
fuckers I've
god.
ever heard of.
They are so fucking stupid. So, one, like, let's just get this right out of the bat. They bought their kid the gun the week before that he went and used in a school shooting.
Okay, did they directly buy it for him? Because I've heard other stories say it's like they bought it for the family in general.
I believe technically, if you asked them,
Yeah,
that is what they would say to be within the law,
legally.
because their son was not legally able to own a firearm.
Yeah,
But as far as I know, it was bought with the expressed intent that he would be the one primarily using it, even if he was not the one who owned it.
that's really fucking
And
stupid.
after it was bought, he, without question, knew where it was and where it was kept.
That is really stupid. I'm
Yeah.
gonna. So, like, we should probably finish this story before we start talking about some of the fallout of it,
Right.
just for sequencing purposes. But
I don't want to
everybody,
get into it too much because it's incredibly tragic.
and it's still fresh.
And
Like,
it is. Yeah. It just happened.
yeah, I cannot get over how stupid this situation was,
How
and
many
how
things could have prevented it from happening?
yes, a little thing called parenting could have been one of
Yeah.
them. So yeah, wasn't the kid also like getting in trouble in school pretty regularly for drawing guns and
Well, I don't know
ha-
if it would be like getting in trouble, but that is definitely a thing that happened
okay, yeah, I guess
that the
not
school is aware of. Yeah. And it was brought to the attention of the parents.
correct. Yes.
And their response to it was basically, don't get caught next time. Because one of the things that it was that he was,
He was looking at
um,
ammo. I remember
yeah, he
that.
was looking up ammunition on the school computers, and the parents' response to that was, don't get caught.
Yeah. What the hell? Why? Why did you do
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Just terrible parents. People so ingrained in the culture of guns that they can't understand how this shit actually happens.
You see, this is something I do
Because it
want to
does happen.
yeah. Something I do want to point out. We are way too comfortable with guns. Gun culture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's been going around on Twitter is this picture from, I think it's a lawmaker somewhere, who fucking knows, or probably Texas as far as anyone knows. Of their Christmas family picture,
Oh, that
and all
picture.
of them are holding guns. It's just so dumb. It's so fucking dumb.
Why? Why are
One of
guns
my
a
favorite
fundamental
parts
part of
of
your
it
personality? I just want to
One
know.
of my favorite parts of it is the people who have been like actually analyzing like the background of the picture, because this is apparently somebody, they made this house themselves as like their spare house kind of thing, but they built it themselves, and it is clearly some of the shittiest craftsmanship ever.
Really? Do you have the photo?
Yeah, it's terrible. I'll see if I can find it. It's probably, I think, pretty sure I liked it. But there's like stuff like you can see where baseboards were supposed to be, that there's just not baseboards. The windows don't line up.
Nice. Sounds like it was cheap.
Yeah. Well, they did it themselves, you know.
Yeah. I think really they're just waiting for the house to fall apart, and then when the riot and the looters come, that's why they have the guns to protect themselves.
Yeah, of course. I don't have the one that was looking at it. But yeah, it's just like, come on. Like it's clearly bullshit.
Yeah. And wasn't the kid like 15?
Yeah,
The
pretty
school
sure.
shooter.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Wasn't like okay. I also remember this detail. Weren't the parents like on record for sending him a text message like 3 hours before it happened? Don't do it.
That is debatable still. I don't know the timeline. I don't
Okay.
know if it was before or after. There is two lines of events that could have happened. One is that while he was at school, they realized he had taken the gun and they sent the message to him that way
Yep.
as like genuinely don't do it, realizing what he was going to do. Same with calling the police, which they did, I believe, as well. The other one that I've heard, though, is that they did it after they heard that the shooting had happened, in which case it would be them doing it to cover their own asses. In a terrible job, you know.
That's so bad.
But yeah, which way it is, I don't know. Given their actions after the fact, I'm leaning on the latter because they seem like just shitty people in general.
I don't know enough about them to say if they're shitty people or general. I think they're stupid people, but
I think I don't know. Okay, so I'll put it this way because let's just talk about what happened after the fact.
okay.
They were also charged with involuntary manslaughter
Correct.
for providing the gun that was used,
Yep.
providing a gun to a minor that was used to commit felony. When that came out, they fled,
Mm-hmm.
disappeared, tried to disappear. They disappeared. They did the worst job ever of disappearing. We'll get into that because that's what's funny about it, how stupid they are. But they disappeared. And
They ran.
apparently, with the way that they did it, um, there was a video that came out during the arraignment of their son where they were supposed to be in the courthouse, but they weren't. They uh, entered in remotely
Oh no.
over video. And apparently they were like on video with like black sunglasses and hats in a car already.
That makes you look
Which is
innocent.
just like yeah, we're definitely not trying to obscure our faces. No way.
Nope.
And then they're supposed to make their own arraignment for the involuntary manslaughter charges, and they just didn't show up for it. And then 48 hours later, after they have the sheriffs, the state, the U.S. Marshals, and the FBI all looking for them, they ended up being found because you can't make this shit up. They were in a building,
Mm-hmm.
hiding, and parked their car in front of that building
No.
on the street in front of the building.
Their
Yeah.
car with the license plate number that
With-
clearly links to them. That proves that
Yes.
that is their car.
Yes.
That they
That
are
car.
somewhere near that car.
Yes. That car.
That car. Wow. Amazing. Well,
It's truly something. They've since been arrested and charged with many, many more crimes afterwards.
you mean like running?
Their
Resisting arrest?
bond was set. Their bail was set at $500,000 each. And typically, what happens in a case like in most cases is that bond is set at some amount, but bail is set at 10% of bond in a lot of cases.
Okay.
So if you confront 10% of the bond, you are allowed to not be kept in jail, basically.
Yep.
In this case, the 10% was not allowed, and it was just straight, if you want out, it's $1 million. Because realistically, they can't get it, and they're obviously a flight risk.
You wouldn't say.
Yeah. Like, you can't make it up some of these times with people that are just this stupid.
It really breaks my heart that
Self-centered.
people had to suffer because of that kind of stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not fair.
No,
Absolutely
it's not at
fair.
all.
Yeah.
And I just got back from a short vacation, and I'm very fortunate to live in an area that is sort of urban, but also, you know, you don't walk around to places. You have to drive to places still.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of stuff going on the street, and it's easy to forget the hardships that a lot of people have to deal with on a regular basis. And when you go on a trip like I did to a big city like Chicago, you can't not see it.
Oh no, dude.
And it becomes painfully clear the number of problems that America has with healthcare, with addiction and violence, and how much of it ties back to lack of funding for healthcare and education.
I would
You fix
argue,
those two things, so much of it falls into place after.
yeah, I'd argue there's like there's been this sting almost kind of with public education
Yep.
where I even argued who is it? DeVos. Uh,
DeVos, yeah. Betsy.
Betsy, that's it. I was going to call Betty or like Nancy.
Betty. She is an, yeah.
Betsy DeVos. No one who's like the number of public school shootings, Betsy DeVos, in just asinine education programs such as
Mm-hmm.
like having to pay for a lunch and whatnot
Yep.
has really done a disservice to our public education system to the point
Oh, yeah.
where it's more advertising private education systems, which is so stupid because not everybody can afford a goddamn college for their fifth grader.
Yeah. Well, and the ones that you can afford are usually garbage and scams.
Yeah. Or Colts.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, why would we give cult like indoctrination to like people for free? I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
we do. It's called reciting the Pledge of Allegiance every day, but that's beside the point. Do you remember having to do the Pledge of Allegiance every day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always found that really weird.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it until afterwards, and it's just like, yeah, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, pretty fucked up.
Yep.
Yep.
Here's a
Especially
good
around the
chart
time of
from
like
the
9/11.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that
Well, I
the
mean that's really when it picked up mostly, you know.
Yeah. I remember when I was in school, like I want to say 3rd or 4th grade, our teacher forced us to practice singing the Star Spangled Banner,
Mm-hmm.
and we weren't like allowed to leave for recess until we could sing it properly. It
Mm-hmm.
was really
I believe it.
Yeah, it's really weird. Something that always stuck with me. You said you had a picture to share?
Yeah, I'm trying to look up education amounts.
Oh yeah.
And this one is a pretty telling one. It's like so many other things that aren't keeping up with inflation. This is a comparison of Georgia education funding in, I believe it's millions of dollars, comparing the actual funding versus what the funding would be if it just stayed at the 2002 amount and increased with the rate of inflation.
Yeah.
And it is very clear where the difference happens because
Oh.
there's a huge drop and then it never gets caught up again. You cut education spending once and then it never catches up.
Yeah.
Even when you have big jumps to try and catch up again, you can't
Yeah.
because you get behind.
That's really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Education is so important, ladies and gentlemen, and that's something I really wish we could push on our kids nowadays.
Yep. Education and healthcare.
Education and healthcare. I'd argue, both of those things combined contributes to the mental health crisis going on in this country right
Mhm.
now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have education for people, you end up with people not being able to recognize the problems that are systemically wrong around them. If you don't know what to look for, you don't have the tools that you need to do that, then you're going to continue to have the same issues.
Oh yeah. No, critical thinking in itself is kind of been a skill that's only made for like the people who can afford it, the
Yep.
people the people who are expected to actually care, whereas
Yeah.
some people are just lucky enough to be born in the wrong tax bracket to not have to care.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Um, really rough, ladies and gentlemen, to grow up without that kind of information. I am that kind of skill.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you get kids who are so emotionally compromised and going through puberty that have no idea how to channel their feelings right. And so what do they latch onto? The gun. The gun that's meant to protect them, make them feel better, because that's what daddy was raised believing. And what's the gun gonna do? Gonna make the bad people go away. Who are the bad people? Everybody you see at school, the place that makes you feel real insecure and real angry. So let's go lash out to that. And you know what? They don't have the funding to fight back because let's face it, what's the deadlier war zone? Our schools or our military bases?
Plus, once you get people tied in with either poverty, addiction, or both, it is with an individual's capabilities almost impossible to get out of it without outside help
Pretty much.
because it's meant to be perpetuated.
Yeah. Poverty is inherited.
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to be that nihilistic about it because I do believe there's ways you could probably find it. We're just in a very stacked system where it's very hard to get out of it.
Yes.
Because I'm,
People, of course, do manage to,
yeah,
but it should not be the exception to the extent that it is.
yeah. I don't know. I think this is me, but like my hometown, not exactly a great place. It's the kind of place people go for a second chance, like veterans who can't really get good jobs because of their mental issues, or former criminals who can't get a good job because of their mental issues.
Yep.
Um, I'm trying to find like the economic information about my hometown. Okay, here we are. Let's see. Nashville. Sales tax rate, blah, 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 blah. What's. Is this just copy paste information? Okay. Income by population, right? Under 15K. That is 13.5% of the town in Nashville. 15 to 20K, that is 10%. 20 to 30K, 19.8. And it
Real
all goes,
quick,
yeah,
let me check. So the poverty line is set at 12 grand a year currently.
12 grand?
Oh no, sorry, for an individual.
Okay.
For a family, it's 26.
26?
So that's like half,
Yeah.
about half. That is below, not just like making ends meet, that is below the poverty line.
Granted, it's not a great place. Like, let's see it here. Yeah,
But
recent
it gets
job growth.
perpetuated because once you have a place that is not a great place, you're not going to get people moving there because of that. You know, it gets people stuck there.
According to this website, the income per cap is 17,888.
Hmm.
That's pretty
I
fucked.
believe it.
Yeah,
It is.
that's
Absolutely is.
that's just above poverty for an individual. And it's
I saw some bullshit on Twitter. Uh, God, polywork. It's the buzzword, polywork, where it's like these. It's the latest, millennials are millennials kind of garbage, where they're talking about these entitled rich kids that rather than having a job, they do more than one thing. And in this one person's case, they were highlighting this person that was like going to school and also doing like side jobs that aren't really jobs at all, like being a consultant. That's one of their poly jobs.
wait, what's a consultant for? What are you consulting on? Where do you
Yeah.
have the authority to be a consultant? An authority
Yeah.
to consult with people about a subject?
While they're still in school. Yeah. One of the other ones was like a real estate manager. So they own one of daddy's apartments, probably, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, one of those. And it's just shit like that. And you know that it isn't a coincidence that complaints are being made about poly work in these entitled millennials at the same time as there are For the first time in a while, people are just saying fuck this, and rather than working 2 or 3 jobs, are working one job and making less money.
Yeah.
What do you know? Now we have people complaining about it, and it's just so thinly veiled and frustrating to read about.
Yeah. Everything's frustrating right now. The world
It is.
is fucked up at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if anybody's told you that, but here we are going on year 2 of a pandemic.
That should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah. Year 2 of a pandemic. Inflation up the fucking wazoo. Supply chains causing said inflation because nobody can get a good job because people are taking this as an opportunity to rechange their life.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, economically, when a lot of people decide to do that, a lot of people suffer. And the only reason that they're out there trying to change their life is because what we just fell apart from wasn't exactly the best situation in the first place.
Yep.
If there's one thing I can say about this pandemic that's taught me is where the nails are and everything and how well those nails were hammered down or if they were falling apart.
Hmm. Yep.
I used to do poly work when I was before the pandemic in the before
Were you a
times.
poly worker?
I was a poly worker. Polyworkisaurus. Polywork. I'm trying to make like a polygamy
My
reference.
third job is eating avocado toast.
I hope you guys know. I just worked my first job to pay for rent and student loans, and then my second job is purely for avocado toast. Gotta have my
How else could you afford it?
Dude, I mean, have you seen the price of avocados? What is the price of avocados?
I say I don't actually know because we live in Michigan and you can't get avocados.
Yes, we can.
Not like fresh ones.
No, 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 no.
I mean,
Not.
you definitely can, but they're like not nearly as good. So we have so many fucking apples.
What about cherry season, dude? Cherry season in Michigan is a treat.
What is this? Walmart has avocados for $1 and they have a 2-star rating.
What's wrong with
Where
the
where are the
avocados?
avocado reviews? I want to see
I
this.
do need to see this as well.
Where is this?
Walmart sub hiding. They have a nutritional facts.
1.8.
Why does Walmart have a nutritional facts?
There's only one? No, show me all reviews. Haas avocados. I ordered these and they don't look like any Haas avocados I've ever seen. Haas avocados, even unripe. So it's just people complaining that they're just terrible avocados.
Sounds about right. I have a coworker who's in Texas right now, right? And you know what they
Hmm.
were bragging to me about? They have a fucking avocado tree.
Oh yeah, of course
That
you do.
that's a sign of luxury right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you might as well just own the whole plantation at this point.
I mean, to be fair, there's people in Michigan. It's the equivalent of having like a cherry tree.
Yeah, I guess. But that's like up in Traverse City.
I mean, predominantly, but they grow in a lot of places.
True.
We have syrup trees. There you go.
I'm from the place with Syrup Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, there's apple avocado baby food.
Why does that need to be a thing?
For those
Well,
young
avocado.
hipsters.
For the next generation of millennials.
Yeah. I mean, millennials are having kids nowadays, dude. So they do need something to feed their babies. And
Gerber
it is
apple avocado pureed baby food.
yes.
$12.
I
No
know.
way.
That's what I was waiting for you to find. Dude, why are avocados so expensive? I see these at my grocery store for like 2 for $3.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
dude.
don't know.
Here we go. You're going to love this one.
What you got?
Here you go. The best
More
deal.
avocado content.
More avocados. One would call me an avocado aficionado.
16 organic. Can you just buy avocados on Amazon?
Yeah.
Do ratings. One person. Here, let's see the reviews.
Avocado reviews.
Avocado. Oh, there's no customer reviews. How am I supposed to know what to do now?
I will try to find some for us. Ooh, 25 ratings on this avocado. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Rotted inside instead of ripened. Two of the avocados ripened enough so as to be edible. The rest rotted and never fully ripened. I know my avocados, my family's new. This person can't write. Okay, you're disqualified. Looked great in ad. They looked normal in ad, so paying premium price to cover. That's the wrong. Chiral?
Yes.
People need to learn how to fucking use the English language.
To be fair, English is pretty hard.
Yeah, it is.
I agree, but I also get it.
Like, I'm just reading through these without saying them out loud because I realize if I say these out loud, I too will look stupid by proxy. I don't know. I have an avocado downstairs I'm planning to eat later.
Damn millennial.
What's up?
I said damn millennial.
What can I say? Don't you mean lizard person? Do you still have lizard people on your computer?
Pretty sure I do. Snake people.
Snake people, that's it. My bad.
Millennials to snake people. People don't say millennials that much anymore, though, to be honest.
Yeah, it's Gen Z. They're attacking us now.
Yeah. Gotta keep shifting that goalpost.
Yeah, dude. Well, you see, what they do, it's like cult indoctrination tactics where they single you out and then they beat on you and then they let you join the rest of the gang to beat up someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally it.
Yep.
Except I think Gen Z, they're not targeting as much negatively because they know they'll get canceled on Twitter but for targeting some people.
Well, I don't know. I saw this thing on Twitter that was go figure, talking about the children's books that these right-wing puppets are putting out now
Oh, I saw those, but go on,
and
please.
how thin they are. Yeah, let me see if I can find this because it was pretty sad.
There's like one that was like, don't touch my cannons.
Yeah. Yeah. That one.
Second Amendment, baby.
There's another one. Did you see the people talking about what the actual like content of the book is though?
No, go
And how it
on.
basically immediately goes into racism. Like
How?
how the answer isn't to have gun control, it's to be racist.
How it is? Okay, please explain point A to point B for me because I'm a very curious
So the
individual.
book in question is by Dana Loesch, a certifiable piece of garbage, with "Paws Off My Cannon," where we have
Okay,
in book 6 of Brave Books.
question.
Yes,
Are we talking about his canon or are we talking about his canon?
his canon.
Okay.
Two
Need to
N's.
make sure because you know how some of these right wing people are after a while.
This story follows Bongo, a daring and hungry gorilla who loves eating food, especially mushroom-shaped cupcakes. But one day, a villainous hyena shoots a coconut at Bongo and his friend Bonnie. Bonnie is so upset at this misuse of coconut cannons that she suggests the village ban all coconut cannons. Bongo thinks that the hyenas are the problem, not the coconut cannons.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You gonna build a wall and make them pay for it, Bongo?
Yeah.
Wow, that's not even subtle.
It's pretty bad and blatantly, like, I'm sure they didn't mean it, but it sure as hell looks pretty racist.
Okay, I'm a firm believer that the author of a work always intends to put whatever is in there, otherwise they would take it out.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can't see like that little line, there's something going on there. Something very dangerous going on there. What other books do they got?
One of these is pretty good talking about the same one. So you see, Timmy, just because someone cartoonishly pelts you with a coconut, wouldn't it be silly to ban delicious coconuts? Yeah, that would be silly. Thus, similarly, in real life, just because someone shoots one of your school friends in class.
That's not a good equation.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever the word phrase is, I.
So we have book number 4, Fame, Blame, and the Raft of Shame on Cancel Culture by Dan fucking Crenshaw.
Crenshaw, I know that name. What's he do? What's he do?
Yeah. That's basically all you need to know.
Okay.
The fact that you can recognize some of these names in the context of what it is like, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, I hope they have a Jordan Peterson one. Please tell me they have a Jordan Peterson one. I would
I
love to hear a Jordan Peterson one.
No, not that I know of. But there's only 4 in the book, so there's more of them.
I'm gonna look it
We
up right now.
have The Island of Free Ice Cream with the topic of anti-communism. And then last but not least, More Than Spots and Stripes, Harmfulness of CRT.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are they talking about the law in a children's book?
You can be sure that they aren't, and they're just trying to fearmonger.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So I checked to see if there are any Jordan Peterson like children's books.
Yep.
There are not.
Well,
Which
someone should change that.
yeah, wouldn't that be great?
John Oliver, who I know is a regular listener of ours, go ahead, make another children's book with Jordan Peterson at the center of it.
Oh,
'Cause that would
dude,
be funny.
that would be hilarious. Did I ever tell you I was like slightly a Jordan Peterson fan for a time?
Kind of cringe, not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude, it was okay. Let me explain myself a little bit, okay? I got into some of his psychology lectures because like those were before he got political, and
Mm-hmm.
then I found his political stuff, and I'm like, yeah, bro, this ain't it, and I
Mm-hmm.
ran.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
I was also trying to figure out. Okay, so I've after college, I've been trying to educate myself. I've been reading a lot of like the big thinkers, like Noam Chomsky, McLuhan, all those big authors and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
um, there was a Jordan Peterson event in Grand Rapids, and it sold out pretty fast. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Go figure.
yeah, I know. I was still like, I didn't agree with his politics, but I'm like, there's not that many right wing people that would go to a Jordan Peterson event in Grand Rapids, right? Like, didn't seem right to me. So, like a fucking idiot, I decided to buy his book just to give it a. I bought it used, so he didn't get all my money. Um, just to see what his book was like because that's what he was lecturing about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a not an interesting book, man. Nah, dog, this ain't it.
I can't believe the internet commentator wasn't the most actually insightful person.
Dude, I expected it. He's a psychology professor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck is he? Okay, I know why the fuck he's in politics, but you know,
Money.
money, money, money.
Yep.
Um, I actually have the book like right next to me. Do you want to do like a schmoes review of it real quick?
Maybe another day,
Fine.
because I would love to get into that more. What's the title of it?
12 Rules for Life: An Antidote to Chaos.
Yeah, for sure at some point. Probably not today.
Okay. By the way, I have a book about Nazis also on it, so I put my Jordan Peterson book right next to my Nazi book. So when people come into my room, they see like this wild like nonsense of literature, just like all these books in different varieties. So they think I'm a psychopath. Kind of love it. But for anybody who like thinks I'm on the curb right now, I would hope my politics on the show have been shown several times.
Yep.
That being said, you know what's really delicious? Swanson
What's that?
brand chicken broth.
Gotta get that in.
Gotta get that in, man. I'm going to shill out. I'm going alt right on you, Kyril. I'm sorry.
What a shame.
I know. You know who we should get on the show? That Ben Shapiro kid. He's pretty cool. Who's that alt right dude? Um, really hates Muslims.
I think you need to narrow it down a little more.
You know, you're right. Sam Harris. That's who I'm thinking of.
I don't actually know them.
Oh, he's an alt right dude. Doesn't like Muslims. That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll bring in Noam Chomsky. There we go. Balanced.
Perfect.
Yeah. You ever read Noam Chomsky?
Nope.
He's good.
Do I sound like someone who reads books?
Yes. I think you're a well educated young man.
Then I'm glad I've given you the false error that I'm trying to.
Damn, dude. I guess we got to get more literate people here.
I used to read a lot. I just don't anymore.
I try to find time to read like every day, just to keep my brain in the habit, because I do want to get back to grad school one of these days.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I'm alt right, I'm going to go on to Facebook and find some opinions I'm just going to copy down.
Copy and paste them real quick.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Facebook memories. Your Facebook memories of today. 2 years ago. Oh, 2 years ago today, I published my first symphony, which is pretty cool. Is that my first symphony? Yeah, it's my first symphony. Pretty cool. Can't believe it's 2 years old. I'm really upset about that, actually. Wait, is that my first symphony? I don't like that they don't title the videos. That is not my first symphony. I don't know what piece this is. Oh, it's Pond Water. Pond Water. That's a good piece. I'm proud of that one. I'm not finding that many alt-right opinions on my Facebook yet. I'm just seeing tons of wedding announcements.
That's what Facebook is for, after all.
What, wedding announcements and alt-right opinions?
Hmm?
Yeah, pretty much. You're either alt-right or you're announcing a wedding. There's no common ground.
No in between.
None. Yep, okay. I can't find a single alt-right opinion. I guess I can't be alt-right.
Damn.
And here I was about to shave my head and
Or
everything.
get him next time.
Yeah. Oh, mental health awareness. Okay. There we go, baby. Finally got some material here. You ready for these hot takes? Mental health is very important and you should not neglect it.
What?
Yeah.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go back to doom scrolling Twitter for the next 3 hours.
God. What else do we have for the show? Because I don't like being alt-right. I want to go back to my avocado
I'll say,
toast.
though, the best thing that you can do for social media to have it not be awful is to just aggressively use the block and mute button.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Like,
blocked?
I've got my Twitter to a point right now where it's not really, because I don't want to use Twitter for politics because I don't think it's like the best use for it outside of just like keeping tabs on the politicians I care about.
Yeah.
And outside of that, I generally don't see a ton of political opinions because I just block and mute the shitty people and try not to engage with them.
Joke's on you, Kyril. I am the shitty person.
I am too, just not about politics.
Kyril. Did you know, despite being 13% of the population, I'm not going to finish that quote because that's actually a terrible thing. I want to say it.
Mm.
We're at the point of the episode where I get shit posty. Oh, we didn't talk about No Way Home's soundtrack being leaked.
Oh yeah, let me look this up. You have a link?
I don't, because I've been seeing okay, so it was up for an hour, then taken down, and now the videos are just kind of hidden all over Twitter. I've only heard like maybe one piece, and it's a very interesting, spicy piece. Would you like to know what it is?
Oh, it's not like just the track listings; it's like the actual soundtrack.
It's the actual soundtrack.
Ah,
Yeah.
that is much more interesting. Yeah,
And they have no names yet. They're just
interesting.
track like 1 through 19, I think.
Hmm.
So, there's one that I really like. Um, would you like to know what it is?
Go for it. What is it?
Okay. It is a remix of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's theme songs mixed into each other.
Hmm.
It starts with Andrew Garfield's theme, and then as it like rises up, it goes into Tobey Maguire's like on the way down, like the da da da.
Oh wow, someone actually apparently put it on like a Google Drive account, and it got pulled down from there too.
Ooh, that's how you know it's real.
Yeah,
They went to Papa Google.
Sony is going ham.
They are not happy.
Dropbox file deleted.
TMCA'd. I don't know. I've listened to a little bit of it just from the random videos on the internet. In fact, I'm listening to it right now, and I'm excited. Can you hear it?
I'm listening to it right now. One that is not deleted yet.
Uh, well, I'm playing
It
it right
is.
now, and I see my mic is picking up something.
I can hear a little bit, not
Uh,
enough to be like noticeable to hear what it actually is, but yeah.
yeah. Okay.
This
Cool.
one is Spider-Man No Way Home OST album preview by Michael Giacchino on
Yeah.
YouTube. 4.9 thousand likes and no dislikes. This must be really good.
Man, YouTube has just gotten really good in quality all of a sudden because no one's disliking anything. You notice that? Like more positivity. Here is the Toby and Andrew themes mixed, which I mean, the Elfman soundtrack is pretty cool, so I'm cool with them mixing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 5 hours ago, Spider-Man just dropped in Fortnite.
Yeah, no doubt it. I've seen some of the pictures of like the Fortnite loading screen. I'll say I played Fortnite a long time ago when it was in like beta still.
Yeah, I remember. I was
Back
there.
when it was primarily still a PvE game. I don't even know if that's still a thing. Um, and seeing the comparisons of like the character screens when you're first loading in today versus what it was is wild.
Really.
Yeah, because there was one that it was like a loading screen and the characters were Naruto, Rick Sanchez, Thanos, and Spider-Man. Or Master Chief is what it was at the time.
No
It's
way.
just like, yeah, all of those have been crossovers with Fortnite.
I know the Naruto one, but I don't know about the Master Chief one. I don't think Halo's that desperate yet.
Believe it.
Don't you dare even say that to me, good sir. I used to really like Naruto back as like a teen.
I've
Bef-
never seen it. Okay, so I've seen bits and pieces of it that are like on Cartoon Network, but outside of that, I've never actually watched it.
okay, you ready for my review of Naruto as a series?
Mm, yes.
Pretty good until the last third where it shits the bed.
Hmm. But yeah, I just sent this link, which is a link to the Fortnite wiki entry for Master Chief, which says all that you need to know.
He doesn't even have a face and he looks disappointed.
Yep.
What did they do to you, John?
There's a matte black version. Oh boy.
How much it costs to have Master Chief? Look at those V-Bucks.
About $25.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so stupid. So
Yep.
when's red versus blue joining?
Probably never.
I
I
mean,
mean, it would be super easy for them to just keep releasing different Halo skins, though, if Microsoft allows it.
yeah,
Like, it's free money, just release different colors.
yeah, dude. It would literally red versus blue. That it'd be perfect for like reskins.
Have you been seeing the people complaining about Halo Infinite on
No,
Twitter and
go
Reddit?
on.
Oh, you're lucky. Um, the gist of it is that Halo fans got a great Halo game with devs that care about it and are responsive to the feedback that they've been getting, and they're still just being shitty children about it because they don't understand game development at all.
Okay, anybody who plays video games knows nothing about game development. I'm gonna say that right now.
Oh yeah, for the most part, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's why we still have people fucking freaking out about Pokemon Sword and Shield. What do you mean I can't bring my level 100 Charizard over? What are they complaining about with Halo?
So the two complaints that are brought up most are the monetization in it is too aggressive, which I disagree with personally because the multiplayer is free to play. You don't have to pay a dime and you have access to the complete multiplayer. It's just cosmetics. If a game is only
Wow.
charging for cosmetics, they can charge whatever the fuck they want as far as I care.
Golden rule. That's the fighting game rules. Fighting game rules.
Yep.
Always. Yep. Fine.
Yep. As long as your game's free, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Um, but people are bitching about it, even though it's still in like technically beta. I'm pretty sure the full release hasn't even happened yet. But people are complaining about the microtransactions, and they've actually responded and changed some of them to be more user friendly. But it's not enough, so people are still complaining, specifically about armor colors being paywalled off.
I,
Which who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
as someone who played Halo a lot in the day, I kind of get it where it is in like the old fashioned community.
Oh, I get how it's different,
Yeah.
but it was never free to play before.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it like loses all of
Yeah.
it for me. It's a beta.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing is that they apparently don't have the Slayer mode in,
Okay. It's a beta.
which people are. I guess it's a very popular mode. I don't play Halo. I don't
Yeah.
know. People seem to really want Slayer though.
Play okay, so Slayer mode is literally just PvP.
Oh yeah, so it's like no objective TDM type of thing.
Yeah, it's literally
Yeah.
first person to 20 first team
Yep.
to 25 wins.
Yep. So people want that. And they basically said, we know we're working on it, but it's going to take some time because of the way that they have. What they've said is that because of the way that they have their UI set up for the menus, they don't have a way yet that they can just add a new game mode, even if they had it ready, which they don't have it ready. They're still making sure it works. And people just don't seem to understand how UI development works for one, how changing one thing can have other impacts on other things, so you can't just shove it in there and expect it to just work perfectly for
You mean
two,
you
and how different game modes function differently from each other, and you can't just turn the objective off.
so you mean to tell me they can't just press the Slayer mode added button?
Yes, that's correct.
Good sir.
Indeed. But that's where we're at right now.
So what is it? Just
And
capture the flag?
I think there's a couple of different objective modes, but primarily capture the flag. Yeah.
Okay, that's like old school Halo days. So I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah, and it's totally fine. They had a whole goddamn pro tournament with just what they have now, and it went beautifully. No hiccups at all. Like the game might have some things that you don't like, but it's incredibly polished for what it is for a free game.
Yeah. You know, I don't have a problem with it if it's free.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yes, people are paying for the campaign, but the thing that you've paid for hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
One of the devs posted on Facebook, of all places, a really long but really good piece that was basically, you could sum it up as them being just like, we get it, you want more, we're working on it, it's gonna take time, but we have heard you. But also, stop being fucking children. You're actually doxing people and sending death threats. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Really?
The Halo Reddit had to be locked down because it got so bad.
You're fucking with me.
No, like, let me see if it still is. It probably still is.
Dude.
But they like actually had to.
That really makes me sad. I'm not gonna lie. The Halo
Yeah,
community used to be
it's
like the
incredibly
coolest
sad.
shit.
Yep, temporary lockdown.
Dude. Guys, we're
And then
better than
people, the
this.
users don't get this either, that subreddits aren't run by the fucking companies. I see
No.
this. So I'm part of a SteelSeries. They do gaming peripherals, a SteelSeries subreddit, and people don't understand that they come on there and they're complaining about product issues that they have, and the only time actual employees of SteelSeries are on that website is on their own personal time. They're not paid ever to be on there.
Yeah. Because it's a fan community.
And they had to add a similar thing for this Halo one. In response to the latest video from Late Night Gaming, and for other people who just simply might not be aware, this is a sub run by a volunteer team of Halo fans. No one on the team worked for 343, and we haven't received any communication from 343 apart from the same public community manager responses everyone has gotten. The decision to lock down was entirely made by us because toxicity had reached a breaking point and was increasing exponentially. As we said below, criticism of Halo Infinite and 343 has always been allowed and will still be allowed post lockdown. We just want everyone to be on the same page that discourse needs to be constructive and not insulting. And then it goes into the original message. On all sides, this has absolutely gone on long enough and spiraled out of control. The amount of toxicity on the sub from both sides has made it impossible for people to have civil discussions, which is what the mod team strives for, regardless of opinion. Some users on the sub have even been responsible for doxing and death threats. We're temporarily putting the sub on lockdown so people can hopefully settle down a bit and we can hit the reset button before launch. At the end of the day, this is a video game and this level of vitriol is unwarranted. Take the weekend off. We're reopening on Monday.
Dude, that's depressing.
Yep.
So, like, were you there for classic Halo, like the classic years for Halo when Bungie was still around?
A bit, not a ton. I was never an Xbox person, but what if I was over at like friends' houses? Yeah.
Okay. So the Halo community used to be fucking cool, dude.
Hmm.
Like, you had Red versus Blue back in the day, which,
Oh yeah, I watch Red versus Blue.
yeah, before like
Yep.
it sold out to Warner Brothers. You had like people making these cool game maps and like working with Bungie.
Hmm.
Bungie turned community game modes into real modes. It was
Yeah.
that cool. And like people were making fan animations and there was like it was a phenomenon, dude. It was really cool. Like it was such a positive community where everybody was just happy. And here we are, where a big community for forum like Reddit had to be shut down because they're attacking developers. That's sad. I I miss the Bungie days. Like I
The
probably
trend of people attacking game devs personally on social media is the most pathetic thing that I've ever seen. I've seen it in the Rainbow Six community a lot, and it's genuinely sad. Where there are these people that just legitimately have no life and no manners, and there'll be something like recently there was a big change to the user interface in the game that people weren't happy about. They thought it didn't need to be changed, or that just the resources needed to go to other places, or something like that.
yeah.
And it's just like these people don't understand that different people work on different things, and
Hmm.
just because money is going to one thing doesn't mean it's not going to something else. And
Yeah.
then also, there's people that are harassing these developers on their personal social media accounts to the point that they have to delete their accounts and lock them down because they're getting doxxed and getting death threats like this kind of shit. Like, where the fuck are your parents?
Go touch grass.
Seriously. It's so pathetic and frustrating.
I agree. This is why uh, dude, like I, I I don't know, man. I can't even find the words.
It's genuinely not worth engaging with most of the time.
Yeah,
But
like dude,
it
here
is what it is.
here are people trying to work. It's like customer service gone to like terrible, terrible extremes.
Yep.
How do you even like I don't know. I just don't know, man. Like sometimes they don't even have like a choice in some of this stuff like the microtransactions because I'm guessing that might have been a Microsoft deal, you know? Fuck if I know.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, you know, at least it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Could
It's a free game.
it's a free game.
Stop bitching.
Yeah, dude, come on.
So I do have one more thing. This is my last thing for the show. I
Yep.
pretty much did. Um, there's been hints. I don't think it's actually been announced yet, but Sony is planning on coming out with a Game Pass, like an actual Game Pass competitor.
Yes, I heard about that, which is very interesting to me because I would love it if these streaming gaming services started having people fight, I mean, companies fight among it.
Mhm. Yeah, because right now I think the PlayStation, the big problem, like, so I have a kind of a personal stake in this. There's two things to it. The PlayStation exclusive games are really fucking good,
Yes,
and Microsoft Game Pass being on PC means that the Xbox exclusive games aren't really exclusive anymore.
yes.
Imagine if all of the PlayStation exclusive games were suddenly available on PC as well. That would be pretty fucking cool.
That would
And
be
would
something
genuinely
else.
make Microsoft start shaking.
Yeah,
Like, imagine overnight through a cloud gaming service, you now have access to all of God of War, all of The Last of Us, all of Uncharted, all of Horizon Zero Dawn for
yes,
like $10 a month.
yes.
Yes. Very much yes.
I will live with that
Then also
happily.
maybe Sony Santa Monica can get their heads out of their ass and compete with Forza for once in the first 10 years.
Holy crap, dude. Where's that coming from?
The fact that we haven't had a decent Gran Turismo game since 2010,
Damn.
it's genuinely kind of frustrating because Forza is killing it and everyone else is shitting the bed right now.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Damn.
so obvious. It's like, all right, you want to make a good racing game? Cool. Look what Forza did by having you pay a price and you get the whole game.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you can pay to get other things early, but you still get the whole game for one purchase. Who could have seen this coming?
I'm sorry. I'm spamming the chat with like these weird magnets I just found on Amazon. You know what I would really like to see if Sony gets into the ring and Microsoft's already in the ring. Is Nintendo gonna try getting into the ring? Because I'm not
Probably
gonna.
not.
I don't know.
I'd be in favor of it, but it
Yeah.
just doesn't seem like the kind of thing Nintendo would do.
Well, they do have like a shitty sub like game streaming service for like their old games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would love it if Nintendo decided that they need to actually compete with game streaming services because you can't just offer it for $20 with free online because that's pretty fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that's about all I got, though.
Yeah, about all I got to.
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine if Nintendo decided to game stream older NES games on a computer to.
Imagine if they'd let you just stream GameCube games on a computer.
Yeah, dude.
You
So
know how
we
much money they'd make by
so
all the
much.
fucking Pokemon Coliseum nerds?
Oh yeah, dude. Imagine the modding community.
Well, see, that's the thing with cloud gaming, though, is that most of the software isn't running on your computer. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
If you want to be a dick like Nintendo is most of the time, you can just lock it down.
yeah. I don't know. For a company that's really worried about their games being played on computers, I'm surprised they haven't offered that because that would be pretty easy to run, especially for SNES, NES, and like 64 games. And I'm sure like most computers could probably run like any GameCube game being cloud streamed on there.
Yep.
What I'm saying is Nintendo, you got an amazing backlog, and there are computers that are so much stronger than some of those games that you claim to be very proud of, but yet you will not let us play again. And instead of having to reissue a console every time or like a virtual console service, Steam or
Mm-hmm.
streaming.
Steam is eternal.
Yeah. Either or. Miyamoto, call me up. Doug Bowser, I'm here for you, man.
Anything else?
Um, that other than I am genuinely concerned about the fact that when I sent you the dinosaur magnet, the items that are frequently bought with it are a yodeling pickle and the handy squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely
As it should be.
disturbed. Yeah, generally disturbed. With that, I wish you all a good night And I'm me, Mr. Ryan. I've been a schmo,
I'm Kyle, and I've been a schmo.
and I'm looking at Donald Trunks with Trunks hair from Dragon Ball Z, and it's disturbing me. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.